There was a time when Simon Cowell called Courtney Hadwin one of the most unforgettable talents to ever step onto the stage. But years later, something happened that left viewers stunned. During a live television appearance, Simon struggled to hold back his emotions as Courtney's incredible journey took an unexpected turn. Behind the standing ovations, viral fame, and worldwide praise lies a story of pressure, growth, and moments that touched millions in ways few people ever knew. No one expected an anxious 13-year-old girl from England to become one of the biggest surprises on television. She looked nervous. She spoke softly. And many people watching thought they already knew what would happen next. They were wrong. Courtney Hadwin was born on July 6, 2004, in County Durham, England. From a young age, she loved music and enjoyed singing songs by legendary artists. But there was one problem. Courtney was extremely shy. Speaking in front of people was difficult for her, and performing on stage was something that made her nervous. Her family knew she had an incredible voice, but very few people outside her hometown had ever heard it. Before becoming famous around the world, Courtney appeared on several talent competitions in the United Kingdom. She performed on local and national television shows, slowly building her confidence one performance at a time. Even then, many people noticed something unusual about her. Offstage, she was quiet and reserved. But the moment she began singing, she became a completely different person. Her energy changed. Her voice became powerful. It was almost impossible to believe that the shy teenager standing backstage was the same performer audiences saw under the bright lights. Courtney's biggest dream was simple. She wanted people to hear her music and understand who she really was. She was not trying to become famous overnight. She was simply doing what she loved. But her life was about to change forever. In 2018, Courtney walked onto one of the biggest talent show stages in the world. Millions of people were watching. The judges had never met her before. The audience had no idea what was coming. At first, many viewers thought she was too nervous to make an impact. Some even worried that the pressure would be too much for such a young performer. They couldn't have been more wrong. What happened next shocked not only the audience but also Simon Cowell himself, and it would become one of the most talked-about auditions in talent show history. The judges smiled politely as Courtney Hadwin walked onto the stage. She barely spoke above a whisper. Her hands looked tense, and her nervous smile made many people think she would struggle under the pressure. Even Simon Cowell admitted later that he was worried for her. But within seconds, everything changed. In June 2018, Courtney auditioned for America's Got Talent in Los Angeles, California. When Judge Howie Mandel asked if she was nervous, she quietly answered, "A little bit." No one in the theater could have imagined what they were about to witness. Then the music started. Courtney began singing "Hard to Handle," a song made famous by Otis Redding and later popularized by the Black Crowes. The shy teenager instantly transformed into a fearless performer. She danced across the stage with wild energy, powerful vocals, and a style that reminded many people of legendary rock singer Janis Joplin. The audience jumped to their feet almost immediately. The judges looked at one another in complete shock. Simon Cowell's expression said it all. He had gone from expecting a nervous performance to watching one of the most memorable auditions in the show's history. Howie Mandel was so impressed that he did something that changed Courtney's life forever. He pressed the golden buzzer, sending her directly to the live shows. Gold confetti filled the stage as Courtney burst into tears and embraced her family. Millions of viewers quickly shared her audition online. Within days, videos of her performance had gone viral across social media platforms. Music lovers from around the world praised her unique voice and stage presence. Many compared her to legendary artists from the 1960s and 1970s. Simon Cowell later described Courtney as one of his favorite contestants and praised her ability to surprise everyone watching. It was the kind of audition that talent shows dream about: unexpected, emotional, and unforgettable. But becoming an overnight sensation came with something no one had prepared Courtney for. Fame arrived faster than anyone could have imagined. And Simon Cowell was about to make a prediction about her future that would make headlines around the world. One performance was all it took for Simon Cowell to believe Courtney Hadwin was different. He had spent decades discovering singers from around the world, but something about Courtney immediately stood out. In his eyes, she was not just another talented contestant. She was someone who could become a true music star. After Courtney's Golden Buzzer audition on America's Got Talent in 2018, Simon spoke openly about her potential. He compared the excitement surrounding her performance to the feeling of discovering an artist before the rest of the world catches on. Coming from one of the biggest names in the entertainment industry, that was a massive compliment. Simon praised Courtney's originality. He explained that what made her special was that she did not sound or perform like anyone else on television at the time. In an industry where many singers are often compared to existing stars, Courtney's style felt fresh and unpredictable. Week after week, Courtney continued to impress audiences during the competition. She performed songs that showcased her powerful vocals and fearless stage presence. Although she was only a teenager, she carried herself like a seasoned rock performer once the music began. What surprised people most was the contrast between her personality off stage and on stage. During interviews, Courtney remained quiet and shy. But when she stepped into the spotlight, she seemed to become an entirely different person. Fans around the world admired her authenticity and courage. Simon believed that Courtney had something that cannot easily be taught: natural star quality. Talent can be developed, but genuine individuality is rare. That was why he was so excited about her future in music. By the end of the season, Courtney finished among the finalists of America's Got Talent. Although she did not win the competition, many viewers believed she had already achieved something even more valuable: worldwide recognition and the support of millions of fans. Soon after the show, opportunities began arriving from every direction. Record deals, live performances, interviews, and growing public attention became part of her daily life. But fame can be difficult, especially for someone who was still growing up. Behind the applause and headlines, Courtney faced challenges that most people never saw. And as the spotlight grew brighter, the pressure of living up to everyone's expectations began to follow her everywhere. Many fans asked the same question: what happened to Courtney Hadwin after all the headlines disappeared? For some people, it seemed like she had vanished. But the truth was very different. After America's Got Talent, Courtney did not rush to become a mainstream pop star. Instead, she took time to grow as an artist. She continued writing music, recording songs, and finding her own sound. While many reality show contestants release music immediately after becoming famous, Courtney chose a slower path. In 2019, she signed a record deal and began releasing original music. Songs like Pretty Little Thing gave fans a chance to hear a different side of her talent. Rather than copying the style that made her famous on television, she started experimenting with her own musical identity. Courtney also performed at music festivals and live events, proving that her success was not limited to one viral audition. She continued building a loyal fan base that supported her artistic journey. Even though she was no longer appearing on television every week, she remained active in music. As the years passed, something else became clear. Courtney was growing up in front of the public eye. The shy 13-year-old who amazed millions had become a young artist learning how to navigate fame on her own terms. Many fans expected her to become an overnight superstar. Instead, she chose something much harder: patience. She focused on improving her craft rather than chasing constant media attention. Social media also played a role in keeping fans connected to her journey. Through her music releases and occasional updates, supporters could see that Courtney had never abandoned her dreams. She was simply taking the time needed to build a career that could last. Sometimes, stepping away from the spotlight is not a sign of failure. It is a sign of growth. But while Courtney continued working quietly behind the scenes, an emotional moment involving Simon Cowell would soon remind the world just how much her story meant to him. And what happened next left many viewers deeply moved. Years after Courtney Hadwin first stepped onto the America's Got Talent stage, fans continued sharing her audition online. Millions of people still watched the moment that changed her life forever. And every time Simon Cowell spoke about unforgettable contestants, Courtney's name often appeared among them. The truth behind the headline is more emotional than many people realize. There have been numerous videos and social media posts claiming that Simon Cowell broke down in tears live on television because of Courtney Hadwin. However, publicly available records do not confirm that Simon openly cried during a live broadcast over Courtney's story. Many online titles have exaggerated or combined different emotional moments to attract viewers. What is true is that Simon has repeatedly shown genuine admiration for Courtney's talent and her remarkable journey. He praised her originality from the very beginning and openly supported her growth as an artist. For Simon, Courtney represented something rare in the entertainment world, a performer who could completely surprise an audience within seconds. When Simon watched Courtney transform from a nervous teenager into a fearless singer, it reminded viewers why talent competitions can be so powerful. They are not simply about finding winners. They are about discovering people who inspire millions. Over the years, Simon has spoken emotionally about contestants whose lives changed because they were given a chance to perform. Courtney's story remains one of the most memorable examples of that transformation. Fans around the world have also shared emotional reactions to Courtney's performances. Many admitted that watching her audition still gives them goosebumps years later. Others say her story inspired shy young people to pursue their own dreams despite fear and self-doubt. Perhaps the most touching part of this story is not whether Simon literally cried on live television. It is the fact that one shy teenager managed to earn the respect of one of the toughest judges in television history. That alone speaks volumes. But Courtney's journey is still being written. She is no longer the nervous 13-year-old standing backstage. She has become a young artist with her own voice, her own path, and a future filled with possibilities. And today, fans are asking one final question. Where is Courtney Hadwin now, and what does her legacy truly mean? The little girl who once walked onto a stage shaking with nerves is no longer that person today. Years have passed since Courtney Hadwin stunned millions on America's Got Talent. The spotlight has changed. The headlines have faded. But her story continues. Today, Courtney Hadwin is focused on music and personal growth. Unlike many young stars who chase attention at every opportunity, she has chosen a different path. She continues to write, record, and develop as an artist while staying largely away from the non-stop media cycle. That decision may have confused some fans at first. After all, her audition was one of the most talked-about moments in talent show history. Many people expected her to become an international superstar almost immediately. But success does not always follow the path people expect. Sometimes the biggest victories happen away from the cameras. Looking back, Courtney's journey was never just about singing. It was about courage. It was about a shy teenager proving that fear does not have to control your future. Millions of viewers saw themselves in her story. They saw someone who struggled with confidence. Someone who felt nervous. Someone who doubted herself. Then they watched her do something extraordinary. That is why her audition continues to inspire people years later. For Simon Cowell, Courtney remains one of the most memorable contestants he has ever encountered. Not because she won a competition. Not because she broke records. But because she created a moment nobody could forget. 1 minute she looked terrified. The next minute she had an entire theater on its feet. Moments like that are rare. They remind us that talent can appear when we least expect it. They remind us that first impressions are not always accurate. And they remind us that some of the quietest people can have the loudest impact on the world. Reports may vary regarding some of the dramatic headlines that continue to circulate online. But one fact remains clear. Courtney Hadwin's audition changed her life forever and earned her a place in talent show history. Years later, people are still talking about it. They are still watching it. And they are still amazed by the young girl who stepped onto a stage and shocked the world. Maybe that is Courtney Hadwin's real legacy. Not the fame. Not the headlines. Not even the standing ovations. Her true legacy is showing millions of people that being afraid does not mean you cannot be brave. And sometimes, the person nobody expects becomes the person nobody ever forgets. What do you think about Courtney Hadwin's incredible journey? Do you believe she is one of the most unforgettable contestants in America's Got Talent history? Tell us your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more amazing celebrity stories and documentaries.